We begin today's episode with a resource gathering montage. I have gone and gathered a bunch of resources because we have some building to do in this episode. We have a couple of farms to build before we build the main thing of this video, which is a nether hub, and I'm hoping that my idea for it is going to be super cool. It should hopefully turn out very nice. But before we do that, we have to build a gold farm and a piglin bartering farm. Now, I need these farms anyway, but also the main reason I'm doing it is for the blackstone, because there's going to be a fair bit of blackstone in this build, and I know I could mine it, but also I don't want to mine it. And a piglin bartering farm is just a really good way to get a heap of blackstone very easily, and also all the other cool things that come with it. So I need to head to the nether and build the piglin bartering farm and also the gold farm really quickly before we can actually start work on this nether hub. Now we need to head into the nether, find a prime location to build the gold farm, and then build the, whatever you call it, the piglin bartering farm. Hello, mister. And then we can get heaps of gold and heaps of blackstone and all that good stuff. So now I need to fly down here and find a big lava lake that is in a nether waste. Now I need to go find a big open space with a giant lava lake, or honestly this will probably work fine. I don't think anything will spawn at the height that I'll be anyway. So now I need to go back up again, come back up here. Now I need to build all the way up there and build a giant gold farm, which should, it'll take a fair while. This farm does take a while to build. I know this farm is super loud, but I've been AFK here for a decent amount of time now, as you can see by my levels. Let's fly down and see how much gold we have actually gotten in, I don't know how long, it was maybe an hour. 54 blocks in this one, and 54 blocks in this one. Okay, that's quite a lot of gold actually. I cannot complain with that whatsoever. This, I mean, I know how good this farm is for gold and XP. It is super good. So now we need to go ahead and build our piglin bartering farm so we can actually go ahead and use all of this gold to get quartz, blackstone, leather, gravel, and just all sorts of very handy things that we will use plenty of in this world. Piglin bartering farm is all complete, and I did die just once in the building process, and obviously lost a bunch of levels, but I've been AFK a little bit again up there just to get a few back. But if we flip this lever, we will see it is going to start working, and we'll get all the blackstone we need for our nether hub build, and we'll see they throw it all and they get pushed along and start sorting, which is very good. So I need to go back, grab all the materials that I gathered for this build, and then actually start working on it. So it is going to be a big circle, and I guess you'll just see. I'll do the first part of the time lapse because the first part of it will be quite easy. Well, sort of. We'll just see what happens. Let's just jump into a bit of a time lapse and see what I can come up with, because I haven't designed it. It's all just in my head currently, so we'll just see what happens. Okay, that time lapse was a little bit choppy. I kept pausing it because I kept needing to go back and get different materials and resources that I hadn't gathered yet. But this is what we have so far. We have 4 different biomes, and I think this looks so cool. And this is going to be an enclosed building. And what I have planned is the walls will go up and then into a little bit of a dome. And at the top, there will be like, this one will have basalt, this one will have soul sand, this one will have the crimson or the warped wart blocks, or is that what they're called? Yeah, whatever they're called, sort of on the roof and maybe dangling down a little bit. I think that will look really cool, but it is time to light this portal. It should, okay, perfect. I was kind of worried that I may have done it slightly too tall, but it is the right height and it should link perfectly back to my base, just like that. That is awesome. Now we can go back through, and I should hopefully have plenty of blackstone that is over here. I did already grab some of it. Yeah, there's a fair amount. I hope that this is enough. I need to build up the walls reasonably high because it needs to be like taller than that. So that's quite a bit. I'm not sure if this is actually enough, but we will eventually find out, I guess. So I guess it's time to go ahead and build the walls. This thing is very large and looks terrible from the outside, but that doesn't really matter, and I do need to obviously spawn proof the whole roof, but I'll do that a little bit later. And the inside is looking pretty good. It is a little bit plain. I kind of like this bit of purple with the obsidian, because obviously the portal itself is purple. But what I want to do now is I'm not gonna time lapse it because it's probably gonna take me. I've missed a block. How have I managed to miss a block? Oh my goodness. Let me just fix that. Okay, like I was saying, I want to put a heap of these blocks up on the roof here. I just think it will look super cool. So it'll be covering the roof, you know, coming down here a little bit, maybe some bits sticking down or something. I think it will look really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with one of them and basically show you what it looks like and what we'll do for the rest of them. The first side is done, and I think this just looks so cool and makes the nether hub look a lot better. So once I have the other 3 done, it's going to look just amazing. And it did take about 45 minutes, maybe even an hour just to do this. So it wasn't fun, but I now need to go ahead and do it on all the other sides, and that's, yeah, gonna take a fair while, but it looks so cool, and it's not just plain and boring. Oh, this looks, I'm so happy with this. The inside is fully done, and before I show you, I do want to go ahead and build a Hoglin farm because I keep running out of food, and my chicken farm that I built, if you remember, it is terrible, so I removed it. So I'm gonna build a Hoglin farm because, well, that's gonna get me heaps of cooked pork chops. I also spawn proofed the roof of this, so no mobs are now spawning up here. So let's quickly build a Hoglin farm, and then I can go ahead and show you the inside. Hoglin farm is built, and shortly you will see some spawn in, hopefully. Just like that, as you can see. Plenty spawn in. I have been AFK here for about 45 minutes, so let's jump down and see how much food we actually have. I just decided to AFK it for a while so I could actually get a decent amount of food. And that is a lot of food that will last us a very, very long time. And now I don't have to worry about food and having to eat baked potatoes because I was doing that and I didn't like it at all. It is now time to show you the inside of our Nether hub. You can see a little bit in there now. Let's go in and show you what it looks like. And here we are. It looks so cool, and I am just super happy with it. It is no longer plain. It has 4 different biomes, and I just think this looks absolutely amazing, and it did take quite a while to finish, but I am just super happy with it. Obviously, I have no tunnels just yet, but I also don't have pretty much any other portals as of right now. We only have the portal over there, which goes to our end portal. That's all. We don't have any other portals, which obviously we will once we do more builds and things like that, but for now we literally just have that one way over there. Now that the Nether hub is done, the tunnels obviously haven't been built yet, but I don't need to do them just yet. I want to do a bit of work over at the base. There's a little bit of terraforming up here and down here that needs to be done. So if I grab some grass, I think I should have, yeah, I've got a little bit. We can grab a little bit of this and that should be enough. Hopefully it's not a massive area that I need to do. I need to take out a bit of this and just make it look a bit more natural. I'm not going to do the cliff thing over here because it's not quite, it's not very high over here, so it's not really worth it. So I'm just going to terraform and fit the grass in. Don't really know what I'm talking about, to be honest. I basically just want, well, I just want to make it look a little bit better and not just like it's just been a chunk's been cut out and then get rid of the stone as well, because it looks terrible. So we need to make it look a lot nicer. Okay, that looks a lot better. Now obviously there is no, like, I haven't put any trees or anything else in. It's just the ground. This area here, that needs to be fixed as well. I've just realized I'm going to make this little bit look a little bit better as well, because I do not like how that looks. But this here, that does look a little bit better. That's a little bit square. We may adjust that a little bit, but it is coming together. It is starting to look better. And yeah, I'll eventually add, you know, some trees and other little things in here, maybe just a random path and some things just to add a bit of life to the area. And this little area here looks significantly better now. I think that is looking pretty decent. Now I need to go ahead and just fix this little bit down here, because that just doesn't look good. I don't really know what I want to do with it. I think I might just continue, I don't know, I'll just start placing blocks and see what happens. And this little section over here, I am much more happy with it. I just put a little bit of cobblestone and that in there just to change it up a little bit, but this side I'm a lot more happy with. It doesn't look as bad now. And the area around the base, I mean, yes, I've got a giant wheat field and pumpkin. We ignore that for now. But yeah, the area around the base is looking a lot better now, and it's starting to look super cool. And even without this and that, it looked pretty cool as it was. And there is still a lot more work to do on this side, but I don't really feel like doing that right now, if I'm being completely honest. What I want to do now is find an area for a bit of an industrial district. Now I know I have a few farms here, but there is a lot more farms I want to build, so I want a bit of an industrial district. So I need to find an area for that, and I want to start flattening out the area. Now my idea is I want the area to be the size of just a regular map, so it'll be a decent sized area. I hope it should be big enough, and because I want it to be on a map and look really cool and all that cool stuff. So I need to fly around and find an area that is already reasonably flat and ideally not too far away. I know I can use the Nether, but I don't really know which way to travel to find an area that will be suitable. But I'll update you once I find something that may just work. So my end portal is just over here, and I remembered that it is, in a bit of a plains biome. So I'm thinking probably like this area right here is pretty good. It is close to a previous build, but not, I don't think too, maybe you cover up this water because then it's, you know, easy sort of to fill in. So let's grab a map and see whereabouts on the map we are, and not exactly where I wanted to be, but I think we can work with this. If I use free cam, it will be, yeah, this sort of big area here, not too close. Yeah, you know what? I'm happy with this. This area here is going to be our future industrial district, and I'm going to quickly go ahead and flatten it out. And why am I can I? Yeah, I'm going to build a border around it, like a, I don't know what, out of what, but, you know, something that's bright, maybe like red wool or something like that. I don't know, we will see. And here is what we have, and this is what it looks like on the map. It looks pretty cool, and I used a bunch of water because then, well, it is all spawn proof, and I don't have to worry about actually spawn proofing the floor, which I think is pretty cool. And also, I just think the water looks pretty cool as well. So now what I want to do is I have some stone blocks, and basically I'm going to use these to somewhat lay out a bit of a template sort of plan thingy on where certain things are going to go. So I want in the center, I want there to be the storage system for everything, and then I want to set out a bit of a, lay out a bit of a plan for where some of the farms will go. But the first thing I need to do is, well, find the exact center, and I need to hope that I haven't built this like one block off somehow. I mean, based off looking on the map, it looks perfect, so we should not have an issue with that. So let's go ahead and try and find the center, which I'm going to just build diagonally across and across. That's how I'm going to do it. Okay, so I believe these 4 blocks right here should be the middle, because the chunks, like this is the middle of the chunks. I feel like I messed it up slightly, but also it seems to be, yeah, 1 block in each of these chunks. So to me, that means that this right here is the center, which is perfect. Now I can go ahead and remove these lines because, well, I don't need them anymore. So this should be the middle. They are all cleared up. Now I can come back to the middle, and I need to build out a bit of a square where the storage system is going to be. So if I bring this back down 1, I think that should be 10 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll do that on each side, and I'm gonna just fly up and just check if that looks like a decent size. Yeah, you know what, I think that should be big enough. I don't think I'll need a ridiculous amount of storage. I think what this should be able to, yeah, I think it'd be nice if I could speak English properly. I think that this will be plenty big enough. Now, what I'm going to do is, coming in from each side is going to be the water streams that will bring all the stuff into the storage. So I think that they will come in roughly here and here. So I'll have, you know, two lots of water streams coming in each side. So I'll just build this out, and this will be, yeah, where the water stream will go. So, like, you know, some farms from here will have their items dropped in this side and this side in there. I think this makes sense, and I think it'll also look pretty cool because I want this area to also look really cool. I don't want it to be a big old mess. I want it to look very cool, and I think if I do a bit of planning and organize it properly, I think it will look fantastic. I apologize if you can hear a lawnmower in the background. You might not be able to, but you also might. But anyway, this is where the water streams will be going, like I said. Now I'm going to go in each different section and just put a few little templates out for the area that the farms will be built. So, like, this section might be some taller farms, this section might be a couple of long farms. I don't exactly know. I also need to figure out what farms I'm building so I can actually, you know, label the spots. I can also build the spots without knowing the farm just yet, but I would also like to know most of the farms that I'm going to build here because, well, I think that'll just be handy. So I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, put some of the template in, I guess you could call it. The first section is laid out, so these will be taller buildings. I actually think this will look really cool. Now, they're not going to all be massive, crazy, efficient farms. I just want farms for a lot of different things, even if it is, you know, not the most efficient or not producing a massive amount. I just want to be able to have a heap of stuff. So there will be 9 farms here, and then the others will be slightly different. And it also looks really cool on the map. And once it is actually a farm, it will look even better once again. So the next section is done. This is what it looks like, but I'm actually going to leave these two as is because, you know, these farms I will be doing my own design, but then the farms that are going to go here are going to be like tree farms and bone meal farms, obviously bone meal for the tree farms, and I don't exactly know how big they're going to be, so I'm going to leave these how they are, and I will just try and make it look as good as possible when I'm actually building whatever farm it may be. But this is our industrial district area. It is looking very, very cool, and as we start building farms, I'm not going to have one episode dedicated to this area. It's just going to be, you know, every episode or every now and then I will just come over here and build a new farm, and once again it is looking very cool on the map. But yeah, I am happy with the progress I've made. This whole thing has taken me about 5 hours to do, so it has not been a quick process whatsoever. So I've done a couple of things over here. As you can see, I've added beacons in each corner. There is 4 beacons giving me plenty of the, I was going to call them abilities, but I don't actually know, I don't know what to call them, and they don't quite cover the whole area, but they do cover most of it, so most of the area is covered fine. But I've also, over here at this area, I have labeled almost all of them. There is just 2, I don't know what farms will be there, but we have sheep farm, we have pumpkin, we have melon, and then over here we have got dripstone, honeycomb, and honey down the end, and then this last one here is cactus. So I just need to come up with 2 more ideas for here, and I don't exactly know what is going in this area here. I know these areas are going to be tree and bone meal farms, so I don't really need to label that. I just know that that's what they're going to be. But with that said, we are at the end of today's episode. I hope you all did enjoy it because it took a long time to get all this done. There was a lot of building, a lot of farm building, a lot of resource gathering that I had to do for this episode. So if you enjoyed it, please leave a like down below. Also do consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. With that said, my name is Onyx and I will see you next time. This is bad. Yep. Okay. I saw that coming.